Hi, today I wanted to talk to you about boundaries as a virtual assistant or an online business manager. I'm Paula Edwards and I'm from Advanced Virtual Assistants. I wanted to talk to you about this today. It just come up in my mind whilst I'm driving along, and you know what, I just thought I'm just going to pull over and tell you guys about this, because even though I've been in this business since 2016, I still come up against things that I'm still learning, and my aim is to help you learn faster, learn from the things that I've learned from along the way. And we had a post go viral this week, and it was about letting clients know that virtual assistants aren't necessarily available in the full 9 to 5. And I think, having been in this business, one of the mistakes I made is that the assumption that clients understood this. They understand that virtual assistants are there to come in and do bits of work here and there throughout the day, but are not available in the 9 to 5 in the traditional employee sense. So what a silly assumption for me to make, because we had a client that was with us for a while and got upset that the RVA wasn't in the inbox as regularly as she'd liked. And I think that it's just managing the boundaries and communicating that isn't how a virtual assistant works. So I want you to learn from my mistake and not assume that clients understand what your role is or how the role works. I think, and don't feel like you have to always say yes. You've got to manage these things to make sure that they understand it. They don't always necessarily need it, but I think if you let them know from the outset that this is how you plan to manage their workload, then the communication's happened and the expectation is there. But if you don't communicate that in the beginning, then there's maybe a different expectation, and this is when the relationship starts to fail. And I experienced this even recently, and I've been doing this like 8 or plus years. So I wanted to just say that to you. Feel free. I want you to think about what your boundaries are when you're going to be available to work for that client, and communicate that from the outset. Don't assume that they're going to know that you're not going to be in and out the inbox all day long, because that's not really our role. If that's what they want, they should be looking to employ somebody. So I hope that's going to be helpful to somebody today, that you can learn from what I've learned from this last week. So think about your boundaries and communicate them up front is my message to you today. Have a good day. Bye.